Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Marketing Matters. I'm Sarah Touchstone, Landmark Title's social media marketing strategist and educator. I get the pleasure of bringing you guys Marketing Matters live every single Wednesday morning. This month of August, it's all about external tools to help streamline your operations. We wear a lot of hats in the real estate industry. So if there are things that out there that can really help you streamline your systems, your processes, the information that you're using with your clients, then we want to cover it here on Marketing Matters. Today, I'm really excited about, it's not a new tool, but it's a free tool, a newly free tool through the MLS, and that is Rapid Stats. And I'm bringing on numbers expert, Amy Ladow. She's been a wonderful guest on Marketing Matters a couple of times now. And and she's a market expert. Like, she not only goes over every month the market numbers here in Maricopa and Arizona, but she also does it for multiple other states around the country. So she's not only a numbers expert here, but she knows how our numbers compare to other markets around the country. And when Armless offered Rapid Stats as a free tool starting just last month, maybe you guys don't even know that yet. Her and I sat down, we're like, okay, Amy, we got to cover this. Like, this is a game changer. This is not Cromford. This is directly from the MLS. So she has a gorgeous presentation for you all today. Amy, I'm excited. I have used Rapid Stats in the past. This is where if you get our market screenshots, I had to think of what it was called. If you get our market screenshots monthly from your business development manager, this is where we get that information. Now it gets sent to us from another expert, but this is where we are able to pull this information, and now it's available for free for anybody with an Armless account.
Okay, so I have to give all the credit to Armless on this because they did an amazing job at bringing this to you guys. So this is what is created for you with your branding that you want to pull in from MLS. So whatever you have is your photo and your contact and your logo is going to pull down into that lower quadrant where my information is. So make sure that whatever you have in MLS is what you want to present to your clients and to the public, because it pulls all of that right there and it makes it look like you spent all this time doing this. So this goes throughout Rapid Stats. It's going to pull your photo and your logo, and we'll get into how that is applied. So that's what you can do with that. So if you go to the next page, I'll reiterate. Okay, stop right there. Okay, see that red X where it says edit timeline?
Yes.
Okay, so any of this information right here, you can set for 30 days ago, 60 days, 90 days, 180 days, and so on. So you can really customize some of these charts for listing counts. You can go back and look at what's happened historically. You can present it as of today. And then in that upper right-hand corner is what you can use to select your county. So if you're focusing on Coconino, you can change it to that. You can change it to Pinal. You can compare these charts. All of these are so incredibly intuitive to use. It's a really well done software package in that you can't really mess it up, I promise. And you can't break it. So, all right, next slide. Okay, this is the bottom half of that dashboard. What I wanted you to see is in the upper right-hand corner is where you can download it for your use. So after you've gone ahead and customized all the data that you want, you can download it, and there's JPEGs, there's PDFs, there's everything you need to either use on social media or embed it into your website. So if you're very tech heavy in your presentations to the public and you want to have these updated all the time, you can do that. If you hover over any of those line graphs, it's going to bring up an info box like that one where it says months of supply 2.71 and absorption rate is 36.87. So any of those, you can go back over and look at where it topped out at in November of 2022, and you can compare those as well. So customize using those drop-down boxes and hide any info by clicking on that graph, and you can actually shorten that timeline. So you don't have to have it go all the way back to 2020 if you don't want to. You could just do this year, but you can customize this for any of your buyer presentations and say, okay, we're only going to look at this time frame. We need to act now. Or as a listing, we might want to wait because historically this is what we're seeing. So however your argument needs to be presented, you can find the data and customize it throughout this entire software package. It's pretty unbelievable. Okay. All right, the next one. So the first tab on that left after dashboard. So your dashboard is your homepage, if you will. So this is the market summary. So the market summary, the market statistics summary is an all-in-one report for a statistical overview. The residential stat is a statistical flyer, and I'll show you screenshots of that next. The stat report is released on the 4th business day with the data from the previous month. So they all have very similar layouts. As you move through the presentation, you'll see current listings, sold listings, new listings. All of it is pretty similar, but graphically, the information, of course, can all be customized. Then they've gone and added in the rental market stats and the rental stat infographic. So in that, you can also see if it's best to buy or rent. For your investors, same thing. Are rents going up? Are they going down? What's the absorption rate? All of that's in there. So go ahead and go to the next one. So this is that market statistics summary. Now I've shown you screenshots of those drop-down boxes. This is how deep you can get. You can actually select multiple counties, multiple cities, multiple zips, square footage ranges, dwelling types, price ranges. So if you wanted to do a statistical summary on Maricopa County homes in Phoenix, Arizona in 85021 with square footage from, let's say, 1,500 to, 3,000 that were detached single family, that were priced at between 500 and 700,000, you can do this. So you can go as macro as you want, and you can go as micro as you want. So you can create data for anything you want to present. So for instance, let's say you wanted to really focus on North Central Phoenix. So you would pick those zip codes, you'd pick those sizes of homes that move the fastest, which you will know through your data, hint, hint. And you can start talking to your farm and give them exactly their area data. It's unbelievable. And I can help you with any of this for follow-up if you guys want more information on it. So if you go to the next page, I'm also going to cover the top. Okay, so the top line, you've got the print. So you can obviously print any of this information. The download, you can save for your digital presentations. I put a big red X next to this one, save my reports. Save your reports that you've created. You can use to send to clients for updates, and you can actually schedule the reports. What? So any contacts that you have loaded into the system, and you can pull them from MLS, you can certainly send them updates every week, every month, every day, whatever you want to. So this is key because you can send them immediately, or you can schedule them and keep those buyers and keep your listings engaged, and it will look like you are working around the clock. You can set them at any time. So when you check the box to include that cover page, you guys, this is what it looks like. If you just look right below, it will pull the information that you have in MLS, and it will create an entire cover page to make sure that everything's updated the way you want it to look. And then it's also going to give them the information on what filters you used, so they can look at it and say, oh, okay, that is my neighborhood. You can be very specific. It's also going to tell them the dates and where it was pulled from. So I would also include the report definition, which is to the right of that cover page on that top bar. It's good for clarification, and it helps with the public understanding. Sometimes we get into the weeds with our lingo and it's misunderstood, or they check out because they don't want to ask questions. That's a really good idea for the public to be able to understand and digest this information. And then if you go down to the right, that green refresh report, this is key too. Once you have all your filters done, you want to hit that, because when you refresh it, it redesigns the report and presents the information that you actually want to send. All right, next page. Okay, this is the 3 pages of that market statistics summary. So when you're sharing it, make sure you don't have to share all of it. Maybe that statistical summary all the way to the right, that's just a line by line by line, isn't necessary. Or maybe it is. Whichever one is going to present you the best way, choose that format. You can just download 1 page of it. You can just save one. You can screenshot it. You can snip it. There are so many different ways to use this information. So that's basically what it looks like for the rental and for the statistics summary, whether it's residential or rental. But if you go down to the next one, we're going to dive into the first one a little bit. What I like about this information is, yes, thank you. What I like about this information is it's kind of like the USA Today version of the news, right? It's colorful, it's graphic, it's easy to understand. So you can inspire your buyers to act. You can use this information for your offer strategies. So if you look at the graph right here, it says sales by transaction type. So that green is a normal sale. The orange is a new build. So that might be a different strategy, right? The blue is a flip, and that gray tiny sliver right there is other. So not sure how other's defined, but it's another. So what you can use this for is, if you look at the last 24 months, so that line graph right below, it has new listings, average price per square foot, and median price listings. So if you're going on a listing presentation, you can talk about, look at that average price per square foot. It's beginning to drop. So we had a height of it, it looks like in January of 2024, where everybody was listing their house, and it's slowly gone down. So what's going to be your pricing strategy when you go on that listing appointment? And again, all of this is customizable. So you need, and I put on there, paint the picture. So make sure whatever strategy you're going into a buyer presentation, a listing presentation, what you have for your farm, you're backing that up with these stats, because you can, and they're easy. So if I'm overwhelming you, don't. Once you guys get into this, it's really easy to figure out. And these slides are step by step. So if you want to hold on to them, when you get into rapid steps, it's literally a guidebook. So next page, this is a compare and contrast over the market stats infographic pulled. So that's the general one on the left. And then I did a specific one for Maricopa County, Phoenix, 85016. So if that's your farming area, you've got your solds that are down 21%. So what does that signal for a buyer? Might be a great opportunity. You've got your months of supply has grown by almost 100%. Again, great for buyers, right? If you're going for a listing, your sellers need to know this. You can price it aggressively, because they might be only seeing the information for the entire state or the entire county or national news. And this really sets you apart as the expert in your area. And it looks great. Okay, next one.
They do look great. I love these infographics. And they're so easy to understand.
They really are. So we're still in the market summary. So if you go to the next page, this is the stat page, and this covers 2 years. So you can, again, customize any of these. I just wanted you to visually see them. We're not going to go through all the data, but so you know what you're looking at. This is the monthly stats for this area, and they go back historically. So go ahead and go to the next slide. And this is your rental matrix. So this is your rental stat summary. And if you go to the next one, that's what it looks like. So you can use the custom version to show if they should be purchasing right now or renting for your investments or encouraging buying or whatever. So that's really what it is. And that's what it looks like. Okay, if you go to the next one, new listings residential, again, very similar. So we've got the new listing summary, high level summary of new listings over time for volume, price per square foot, new listings by price range, new listings by square footage. So you guys get the idea. You can pretty much pull anything you would ever need to provide your buyers and or sellers the information that is targeted and specific for their needs. So if you go to the next page, new listing summary, you can create a custom version for listing or buying strategies on this one as well. So again, if you look at that new listing price per square foot, that top green graph with the black lines, you can see that again in January, our average price per square foot was at the peak over 300. And now then it started to drop. And then just this month, it started inching up again. So when you're talking to your clients, you can say, look, listings are starting to climb again. Interesting, because the anticipation of rates dropping, which they did. And theys are predicting that we'll have another drop in September and then again later in the year. So all of that is the market reacting, and you can present this to your clients as well. All right, next page. New listings by a price range, same thing. So it shows the ranges that are most active and most challenging. This is killer information. So you can know how to position your offer or position your listing in order to be most aggressive. So next one. New listings by square foot, same stuff. Okay, so if your house is 2,500 square feet and you are in 85032, then you might need to be more aggressive than areas in Buckeye and Queen Creek. So what you're going to find out is when you start customizing these reports. So, all right, next one. By dwelling type. All right, so we've got townhouses, condos, manufactured, and single family. So they're covering all of the basis on this one. So this will give you more information as well. You can run these reports every different way that will give you the information that you need. So especially with manufactured, you're going to want to do a wider reach because there's not as many concentrated in specific areas. Or if they are concentrated more so in North Phoenix or West Valley or far east, then you can also look at that and say, okay, we've got an overbuilt area in this specific product. This is how we can position it. Okay. All right, next one. Current listings, same thing. I just wanted you guys to see it. It's very, very similar in the layouts. So go ahead and go through it. All right, see where that red circle is right there? This was really interesting. So the peak in list prices was in April for the current listings, not the new listings, the current listings. And then it dropped off a bit and it's leveled off since last month. I thought that was really interesting when you compare it to new listings. So the current listings, we have about a third total that have dropped or have been have price reductions. And that's kind of what we're seeing. We're seeing it all level off. All right, go ahead and go to the next one. Okay, just more data on how to customize it. I just wanted you to see what you can do in here. Sold listings. So sold listings, obviously key when you are doing a listing. And this is probably the most robust because you've also got sold listing by transaction type and supply and demand. So those graphics are going to look pretty familiar to you guys when you get to that one. So if you, Sarah, if you'll go to the next slide. All right, go down one more to supply and demand. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Go back up. I apologize. Go back up. One more. Okay, I wanted to just go through these. So the sold listings by transaction types, you've got normal sale, new build, distressed, flip, miscellaneous, and unknown. So what's nice about this is you, I'm sure, have seen headlines that say, you know, we're have our pre-foreclosures and foreclosures have climbed. They're still under 1% per capita in our region in Maricopa County. But this will show your clients that by a third party. It's not just you saying it, right? These are actual numbers. So when you have those investors that want to way undercut their offers and lowball, this is great data for you guys. So, all right, next one. Supply and demand. And if you go to the next slide, this is the one that will look familiar with those temperature gauges. We've all seen these before. So we've got a giant supply. Our sold listing demand is pretty low right now. And then our supply versus demand are for seasonally adjusted. Again, we've got more than is desired right now. But with everything that's going on in our state, we'll see that starting to level out probably by first quarter next year, I imagine, maybe sooner. But these are your temperature gauges that you've seen with other data sets. So pretty familiar and easy to figure out. Okay, next one. Okay, agent metrics. Agent metrics. Okay, this can be pulled on any agent in MLS. It's going to default to your information first, and then it's going to, you can go into MLS and grab anybody's ID number and pop it in the data search, and it will search production, inventory, efficiency, the violations and fines you're not going to see. You're going to see your own. Your broker can see yours and they can see anybody that's under them, but this is, you won't be able to see any violations for anybody else, just yourself. So if you go down to the next one, this was interesting. So agent efficiency, this shows what has canceled. Their listings have canceled, closed, and expired. It shows the amount of listings that they've had. It shows their pricing efficiency, which I thought was super interesting, because if you're going to a listing presentation and your numbers, you're really proud of, you're great at pricing, whether you have 100 listings or 10, but you always can hit that number, highlight that. Take this with you on your listing presentations. Give it to your buyers and say, look, I really know how to help you get this house. This is why. I can look at a house and know how to price it, or whatever you're really good at. If you're excellent on average days on market is lower than the norm, you're going to want to brag about that. If you don't have the numbers, I have a solution for you. So go ahead and go to the next slide. There's an office metrics. Perfect. So if you are a newer agent, or if you're an agent that gets to pick and choose and you don't have the volume that some others do, if you go to the next slide, go ahead and use your brokerage's metrics. Are you kidding? How neat is that? So you can brag that your brokerage in the last 12 months closed 600 transactions, and that you had a small amount cancel, that you are great at pricing, whatever. So this particular brokerage, their average days on market was right around 40. So you can talk about that. So this is so key for social proof, for proof to your listings that you know what you're doing. And when you're with the right company, I mean, it's awesome information on here. And you can snip any of these or download any of these and post. Do that. Okay, next one. All right, now we're getting into the nitty gritty. If you guys haven't fallen asleep, wake up now. because this is my reports. This is key. So what my reports does is that you select from your saved reports. So remember when I said when you do your customized reports with all those filters, you're going to save them. When you save them, you're going to save them to my reports. When you do that, what's neat is that those blue button right there is you can run them now, or you can send and schedule them. So I did a test for myself and I got mine this morning, and then I scheduled it for every 7 days. So I will have that infographic that we all saw at the beginning sent to me every 7 days if I want it to. It's a monthly infographic, but I chose that as my test, just to see if it works. So if you wanted to do the current listing volume, you could have it sent to your clients every week, every month, whatever works best for you, every day if you wanted to, or you can send it immediately. So that report scheduler will open when you schedule. And down below where that red X is under delivery schedule, you want to do schedule for later. And that's where you choose your frequency, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, or quarterly. So if you had out-of-state clients that had a rental here or a second home and they were kind of thinking about maybe selling, maybe that's something that you send to them monthly and say, okay, now's the time, whatever. So as you go through here, you can put in the date that you want it to start on. So I put in August 7th. I put no end date, so it'll keep sending to me. And then I also, when it says proceed to next step, it easily prompts you to lead you through all the steps. So you really cannot make a mistake. You're not going to accidentally send it, I promise. Okay, so next one. So the report scheduler 2, this is where you're going to either add in your recipient, or up on the upper right hand, if you have contacts already loaded, you can just click on your contact library, and you can select whatever contact is in there and then apply that report to it. So, and yes, you can select multiples if you want to. However, select them individually because you're going to want to add a message. Trust me. All right, so proceed to the next step. Go ahead and go to the next one. All right, personalized message. So this is going to integrate your branding. So if you do a personalized message, I put in here, here's a report. Look at the rental prices in 85016. I'll be following up with you on Thursday to answer any questions. Enjoy. I think it's really key to, especially with prospects, that you're sending a, hey, I'm going to follow up with you, so that they can digest it, look at some questions, and then you are looking like you've been up for weeks, not only putting the information together, but you're really on top of it. This is almost like an assistant. I'm so impressed with this. All right, so that is the report scheduler. If you go down to the bottom, again, you can, yep, there you go. Thank you. All right, so my charts. You guys, once you create a chart, what you can do is you will select the data source. So whether it's residential, rental, or residential listing, then you'll select the status, and you've got all those different choices. So you've got new, coming soon, active, TOM, canceled, expired, so on. Then you're going to create your new chart. So this is where this is all about the presentation on what you want to put out to the marketplace, whether it's for an individual client, social media, buyer, whatever. So on the right, there's that drop down menu. List price average, price per square foot. You've got a number of listings, original list price, original, for average, the original price max, median, minimum, and a summary. So you could actually run all of those and compare those. Right, next page. When you generate it, this is what it's going to look like, and it's going to have your branding on it. So when you create this, you can view and edit the charts you've already created. So in the upper right-hand corner where it says save to my charts, save it to your charts, because you can go back at any time and edit and reinvigorate that chart, add to it, enhance, whatever you want to do with it. So I did coming soon residential listing, price average. And again, it looks like it peaked in July and is starting to come down a little bit. Those were the coming soon list price averages. So the median was a little bit different, but this one is the average. All right, the next page. This is where it gets a little hairy. Okay, stay with me, you guys. So on the left-hand side was that original chart, right? When you open it up, you can go into Chart Builder and you can change your timelines. So if you look to just the right, you've got chart data, timeline, filter, and chart design. So you've got the timeline, you've got the filters that can be combined in just about any way you want to, all those filters I showed you. And then the chart design section allows you to do the same exact information, but look at that chart. That's a line graph. And that is specific for Chandler and Gilbert. So I went back in and changed some of I used that original chart, went back in and just added to it and created the entire thing. It probably took me 30 seconds. So you can create custom charts with different filters applied, and be sure to save and name your chart so you don't get lost. It will be in My Charts, where again, you can edit it and send and save your chart, and it can be embedded on websites as well. All right, we're almost to the last page. Next one. Okay, this is so cool. I'm a little obsessed with this one. So this is a shape generator. This is exactly how it is on MLS, where you can do your map searches and draw in your little lines. So this is where you can get incredibly specific. You can go by neighborhood, subdivision, street, whatever. So you can create your maps to outline different areas of interest, cities, subdivisions, any kind of specific boundary lines. And then you're going to save it to your map searches. And again, you can apply all those filters. So let's say you're going on a listing presentation in Anthem Country Club. You can just pull those that are on the golf course, do an entire historical analysis over pricing, absorption rate, rental rates, and show up at your listing presentation with every kind of option for every answer, every question they could have. And that's really it. I know it's a lot. When you get into Rapid Stats, I think you'll find it's incredibly intuitive. Keep this with you. Sarah, I'm sure, can send it out. It's really a guidebook. So if you have any questions, all of my information is right there. And not only do I love stats when it comes to real estate and how to apply them, but I also do loans. So you let me know what you need, and I am here to help.
Awesome. Thank you, Amy. Thank you guys for sticking with us while we got that going. It is funny, we've been doing Zoom so long, but these are the things that happen. And Amy had the foresight
here. Thank you.
Yep, she had the foresight to send the slideshow to me last night. So we were able to pivot and make it happen. If you guys have any questions, please reach out to Amy. She's amazing. There's so much that Rapid Stats really does. So I know about like the infographics and the agent info, but that was so much more in depth than even I knew. So thank you so much for coming on, Amy, and sharing that with us. We are going to wrap up today with other classes that we have coming up. So next week, we're going to be covering using, like I said, August is all about these external tools that are going to streamline your operations, right? So next week, we're going to cover AI as your personal assistant. So I am a huge fan of AI, ChatGPT. It has made my life so much easier. Things that used to take me hours, especially like these presentations and whatnot. It's so quick now. It's so quick. It's so easy. So we're going to talk about that next week. And then on the 21st, we have Listy coming on, which is a new app that is available for agents. So as we all know, you can no longer disclose commission within your MLS listing. So what are you guys doing to convey that information? Are you just answering a bunch of phone calls? Are you answering a bunch of texts? Well, you're going to want to hop on the 21st, because this app is going to change that whole process for you. And then we're wrapping up the month with my personal favorite CRM. If you guys don't have a CRM, or you have a CRM and you don't use it, you are missing out on how you can really streamline your operations. So we're going to be bringing Wise Agent on. It's going to be a great month. If you guys have any questions, or you want, you can't make one of these presentations, reach out, let me know. I'll send you the recording, and we record them all. All right. Later today, we've got some great CE classes coming up. So later today at 1 o'clock, we've got the Compensation and Employment Agreements CE class. This one's going to give you 3 hours on commissioner standards, and it is at Arrowhead today. So reach out to Renee if you can make that one. And then if you can't make that one, guess what? You can make the one on the 15th. Yes, same class, same great instructor, over in Goodyear at 9:30. So if you would like to attend that class, once again, reach out to Renee. She'll get you registered. And then on the 21st, Patty has a CE class that's going to give you 3 hours of general credit, and it's understanding the reverse mortgage strategies and guidelines. So I learned about we've all heard about reverse mortgage, right? But I learned a couple of years ago about really how cool this is. Amy can probably attest to this too. Like, I think it gets a bad rap. And people are like, oh, reverse mortgage, oh, that's so bad. But if you qualify for it, it's pretty awesome.
I would love to chime in. Okay, so I know that reverse mortgages did get a bad rap, just like zero interest, when we all went through the downturn, that they were absolutely predatory, just like some other mortgages. And Dodd-Frank has targeted this specifically and made sure that it not only is safe, but beneficial. The other cool little nugget is in Arizona, you only have to be 55. The rest of the US, you have to be 62. So here, if anybody on title is 55, then you are eligible for a reverse mortgage.
Whoa, that's pretty cool. And you know what? It makes sense because we have such a huge retirement community. So anyway, get your credits and learn a little bit more about it. Like, if you have a preconceived notion about it, I guarantee if you really take like this class, you will look at it in a completely different way. So that's going to be on the 21st. And then on the 22nd, we've got the Road to 100 closings with Rio. He's a top producer. He's awesome. I've mentioned before that he had a home for sale in my neighborhood, and it's gone. Like, it wasn't even on the market a month, which, that might sound like a long time, but I mean, it was gone in like 2 weeks, which is amazing because stuff is not moving that fast right now. So if you want to learn a little bit more from the social media master, scan that QR, attend his class. It is 11 until 12 on the 22nd over in Peoria. So that one's going to be very beneficial as well. And it is starting to fill up. And then at the end of the month, on August 28th, we've got new construction. This will be a CE class. You'll get credit for this one as well, 9 until noon at the atrium. This one is free. So this is one where your sponsors are covering all the costs, guys. So scan that QR code, get registered, get your CE classes. August is always a great month to do that. And then looking forward all the way to September is our second annual scavenger hunt up in the Prescott area. This one is super fun. So RSVP for that. That's in the afternoon, 2 to 4 p.m. on the 19th. Whether you are a Prescott agent or you just want to go hang out for the day, Michelle will be very welcoming and happy to have you. And then, of course, we have our 2 home tours, Moon Valley on the 3rd Thursday and Biltmore Luxury on the 4th Wednesday. These are great tours to attend. They are always free. So pop into one any month. They run every single month, guys. So if you miss this month, guess what? You can attend next month. And then, of course, please take a minute to fill out our survey. I've gotten a couple of them in, but I love hearing back from you. Your feedback is crucial to the content that we cover here on Marketing Matters. So take a second. There's 3 questions. It literally takes a minute. When I ask you if you've got a minute, it takes 1 minute to fill it out. So please go over and fill that out for us. And then, of course, reach out to your business development managers. It's hot out there. Check on them. Make sure they're okay, right? They're running around and making all of the amazing stuff happen. When you guys are slower, we are busier. So give them a call, show them some love. Beth, Keith, Mary, Michael, Michelle, Patty, and Renee. They are amazing and your partners in this industry. And of course, as we roll into the fall season, when you're busy out there, please think of us on your next contract. We'd love to help you with all of your title and escrow needs. We have 7 offices across the valley, 1 in Prescott, 2 up in Nevada, for everything that you will need. Well, guys, stay cool. I don't think anybody got blown away with the tornadoes last night. So that's good. I'm glad you are here today, and I will see you next week. Thank you, Amy.
Bye.